What's up, profitable stylist? Here we go. Bernard's got his coffee. Thank you, everybody, last week for buying him one. We are having a laugh this morning. We have with us special guest, Master Grayson. He's going to be talking to us about how to be efficient, how to properly advertise and market on the social medias. Bernard and I, for the past couple of weeks, have been talking about how to build our business. Bernard's got his video series that you could check out on the Stylist journey, right? Him and I have been talking about how to become a six-figure income stylist. So now we're going with the guru.
Let me talk.
Jude Grayson, so he can tell us what's up. What's up, Bernard? Okay, what do you got?
Just a minute. So listen, guys, I am worried. There's so much to know about Facebook, and I'm just worried we're going to get deep off into the woods. So I'm going to play like referee here for this next 30, 40 minutes, 2 or 3 hours, whatever it is. Because I want to really help a few friends of mine that I asked to watch this and get to the details. So I wrote some, I had typed up in handwriting font
some special notes.
Yeah, special notes. Yeah. A girl the other day was telling me about these apps she uses for social media. And then she talked about her content calendar. And I said, what do you use? She said, paper. And I said, I've never heard of that app. She said, no, actual paper. I was like, what is a 22-year-old doing using paper? She should only be using digital. Anyway, we're going to talk about Facebook today. And honestly, let me give Jude here a little credit, or a lot of credit. There was a couple of years ago where I said, dude, I think I have an Instagram. I don't even know how to use it. Our wives were in the front seat. We were in the back seat going to dinner one night. And I said, can you teach me how to use Instagram? This was probably 2-3 years ago. And he goes, hand me your phone. And so from there, I got on this drive to understand social media a little bit better. And I was like, oh my God, my Facebook was blowing up by the hundreds of followers over the next few weeks. And then I started using Facebook a little bit more proficiently. And just the other day, he blows my mind again. And I started using this new tactic he tells me on. I call it a tactic. It was all completely sincere. It was just a way to connect with the people that want to know me better anyway. And I started using it in the way he explains. And it's just crazy what blew up on Facebook for me. But I think the thing I want to talk about today is that most people don't realize that Facebook, and I know some of you guys do, but Facebook is separated into so many categories. It started off as just friends, and we would call that a profile. Most people have a Facebook profile. But then what we're going to go into today is how to use that and also use a Facebook page. Now, the 3 things I do recommend at some point in the near future everybody use is a profile, a page, and a group. But we're going to kind of dive into more of the Facebook page, the profile and the page, and how they work together a little bit, and some of the things I did just over the last few days, why you should have one. And Jude, I would like you to maybe start with why Facebook over all other social media right now.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. That was an incredible intro. I need to bring you guys everywhere I go. It was amazing. I'll take hype men like you any day. So basically, the different social medias all have a place because they have a place where you can be authentic with that particular audience. That's what it all boils down to, right? The concept of what you talk about and what you post in Instagram has to be native to the Instagram audience. What you do in TikTok has to be native to the TikTok audience. People who are on that app are engaging with that type of content, whether it be the time limits, whether it be, YouTube is going to be long format, TikTok's going to be short format. People who want long format aren't on TikTok at that moment. So if you're not talking native to the platform, then you're going to be speaking the wrong language to the wrong audience, and you're going to feel strange in the environment that they're in the mental state that they're in. They're watching long format, or short format. So because of that, I've been hearing from a lot of business owners about how dead Facebook is. You have to pay to play. And you do, but also a younger generation, my age, really pivoted hard to Instagram, and they kind of abandoned Facebook. And I'm like, Facebook has one unique factor that the other social medias don't have, and that is Facebook is localized peer-to-peer networking, which means if you own
when you said localized the other day, God, that was huge to me. I was like,
yeah,
that was powerful. When you talked about hashtags on Instagram compared to how Facebook is more localized, was powerful.
Absolutely. If I do hashtag hair extensions, some chick from Germany sees that and likes it, and thank you, German chick, for the love. But
right.
You're not going to sit in my chair. You're not going to spend $1 with me. So if I have a brick and mortar clientele at the service, especially just knowing your industry a little bit from my friendship with you guys, I'm very aware that you have such a visual medium, right? Hair is gorgeous, especially the before and afters. There's so much power in your medium that it seems to easily translate to Instagram. However, dollars are important in this industry too. And if you want to collect them as a hairdresser, you're going to collect them from people who can get to you. Right. And from that perspective, Facebook is incredibly powerful. And I'm going to talk in detail about how to use Facebook with no money. So we're not going to get into the confusing. We're not talking pixels. We're not talking ads. How can the average person generate leverage Facebook's localized marketplace into dollars in their chair and branding power for free, right? That for me is extremely important. So again, number one, Facebook's not dead. In fact, for this particular use, Facebook is amazing because no matter how many likes you get on TikTok, they don't live in your city. So their dollars aren't for you unless you're trying to leverage into something that's online, right? In which case, that's great. But if we're talking about your local market, how you use and leverage Facebook is extremely important because every person who likes or comments on your stuff, not only do they live where you live, they have 300 friends who they went to high school with that all live in that same city, who all live within 5 miles, who are all potential clients.
Let me tell a short story about that real quick. So one thing I realized in our intro, you're saying we're good hype men, and I'm saying, yes, you are amazing in the social media world, but we didn't really give you justice. We didn't really say who you really are. Like, people probably want to know why we have Master at the beginning of your title. Eddie, do you know why we call Jude Master Grayson?
I thought we're not supposed to say stuff like that on live.
So
Jude, I'm messing with you.
He'll definitely have to clean this up for me because my son takes karate from his karate studio. He travels the world as a black belt and so many levels up, not just a average black belt. And you get these titles, and I know Master's a title he's reached recently. And it doesn't come quick and easily and lightly because I've heard about the fasting and the mountain climbing and the things you have to do to get there. Just some of the things, much less the many, many years of training. So Jude is a master in the martial arts world and then used social media to promote himself, not only on a local level, but a national and a world stage. And so it's really neat. His business kind of pairs similar to what I do as far as owning a salon and trying to market to my customers for my hairdressers locally. But then I sell hair extensions and hair replacement to people nationwide. And so he helps me figure out how to use social media to do those two different tasks. And today I think we're talking mostly to hairdressers localized and how they can use Facebook. And I want to generalize it just a little bit and then let you kind of dive down a little bit again. What I understand is that most people's first experience with Facebook is a profile. It's the way it started. It's how you friend request people friend request you hit accept, your friends, you see a certain percentage of those people's posts, you like them, you comment. And over time, people got so many friends that Facebook said, we can't show everything that everybody posts all the time. So let's kind of try to gauge it like an algorithm and say whoever's most interested in your stuff will see your stuff more often. So that's kind of how I generally understand it. And then Facebook said, hey, businesses are using this and we really need to kind of separate the two. So let's open this thing called Pages. And if you have a business you want to promote, advertise, open a Facebook page. Now, as hairdressers, right? Am I good so far?
Crushing it.
Okay.
So, that was good. No, it was good.
Bernard done his homework.
On on the page side, I also own this little side business, a tanning business. And when we bought it, the lady had a Facebook profile for the tanning business. It was there for years. And she said, try hard to keep this. Facebook keeps trying to make me turn it into a page. I don't think it's what you want to do. You want to stay friends with these guys. And so that kind of tainted my belief in the difference in a page and a profile. I didn't really get it at first. And so until I met you and started understanding and talking to you about the differences, I just want to quickly just kind of list some of the actual differences, and then we'll go into detail about how to use them. On Facebook, as a friend request, and add to this if you remember any, one of the good sides is you request people to be your friend. If they've seen you before, they accept it. You start to communicate on there like normal social media. One of the limitations is if you are like a hairdresser and your business is your name, like I'm Bernard the hairdresser also. So I feel like if I open a business page, do I name it Bernard? Anyway, if I promote it through my personal stuff, profile, I'm limited. Facebook stops me at 5,000 people. So if I have a business that wants to grow past 5,000 people that actually like me, I'm limited there. And so those are the two big good and bad on the friend side. And I shouldn't be on my profile saying, hey, I have an opening at 3:00. Please come get me your money. That should be, don't you think it's a little cheesy? And that's what I see hairdressers doing all the time. So then on the page side, it works in likes instead of friend requests, and it's kind of unlimited. And if you decide to pay to play in the future and you want to pay some money or boost or whatever, you can do it on the page side. But the page side gives you, in my opinion, the permission to say, hey, it's almost like a website, right? That's what I learned from you. So that's basically all I got in my notes about the difference in the two. If you want to describe that a little more.
I got a question. We got a question from the audience over here. I know there's a lot of information you're going to be going over, and I'm not sure how much into detail you're able to go, but could you give a little bit more specifics and not just a general overview?
We are. Yes. I'm going to give a deep in the dirt execution of something that Bernard did this week. What I would tell everybody you could start doing tonight.
Okay, cool.
So
that answers the question.
You can get your notepad, you can get your paper app out.
Your paper
app. My paper app. Yeah. I do want to address the fact that I'm sweating like ridiculous. I'm on vacation. I'm on the beach right now.
Yeah.
So sorry guys.
Sounds nice.
It's very nice actually. So here's like number one, understanding the difference between a page and a profile. Page is for pay. Page is for, you're going to pay as you go. That's a cool way to use this. And I want to talk about how to use it, but don't think you have to. How would you do that? If my name was Becky and I had my own Facebook profile, could I make one that was called Becky the Hairdresser? Yes. It's basically a website that's just for you. And then if you ever just nail some chick's hair and you want to pay $10 to make sure as many people as possible see it, cool. But you can also filter every post. You can share every post from your business person, your business avatar's page. You can share that on your personal profile. So it's not a negative to do it that way. However, I got to be honest, at a lower level, it's the harder way to start. It eventually pays dividends. It looks very professional, but that's more of for your salon owner game if you're first getting started. Salon owners for sure need it. Your salon has to have a page, has to have a Facebook business page. Like Bernard said, it's a website. But like I said, if they didn't go to Google to look for you, which is very real, how did they hear about you? Did they hear about you, Becky, because their buddy got their hair done? Is that how they heard about you? If they heard about you through Facebook, they are not getting out of Facebook to go look you up. No one's leaving Facebook to Google you. They're going to look for you in Facebook. You have to have a relevant place for people to search for you inside the platform that they want, because it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the customer. That's why we don't put ads in telephone books anymore. They're not in, the customers aren't in there. They're in Facebook, and it's easy to believe that because Facebook and Google are on the same device, they're accessible through the same device, that people are going to leave one for the other. They won't. So let's start right now. Very executable. Okay. We're going to start with the super nuts and bolts. Number one, if you do somebody's hair and you don't document it, you didn't do their hair.
Does a tree make a sound when it
I
falls in
use
the
this
woods,
analogy all
and
the time.
nobody's around to hear it. Right. That's what I got out of it. I love it. Yeah.
When I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, if a tree falls down in the woods and nobody's there to hear it, did the tree fall? Prove it. You don't know, right? This is a very old adage, but the concept is very true. If you alone in the four walls of your studio cut someone's hair or do extensions or do something, and you don't tell people about it, you didn't do anything because no one saw it. So it never happened. Right. If you don't document it, it never happens. So now let's use, because hair is such a visual medium, obviously before and afters are the easiest. Okay. So let's get a little grimy right now with the type of documenting you should do. Number one, a before and after picture works great. Number two. Yep. Number two. a before and after transition video like TikTok does is better. I've made several for Bernard. And it's very simply, you get a girl to twirl before, and then you put her in the same spot. You get her to twirl after, and then you go to an editing app like Video Leap is the one I use. It's on my phone. We are not sponsored in any way.
No.
You go to
I use iMovie.
iMovie, and you just splice the two videos together. It makes a little magic. It makes it worth watching.
Right. First half the spin is the before, second half the spin is the after. So when her face is away and it comes back, boom, she has the better look, whatever it is. Hair extensions, hairstyle. Yep. Brown to red, right.
So step one that you got to figure out is documenting. Now we're oversimplifying it. You and your salon got to figure out where in the salon is clean and visually attractive enough to do this.
And bright enough. You got to have lights. You can't rely on the filters. You got to have brightness.
You got to get consent from because you're essentially trying to convert a client into a model for 5 seconds, for you, which is great. Through Facebook and through Instagram and through all these things, people are very familiar with the concept of social media. You're not asking them to do anything intrusive. So as long as they're okay with it, this is a great way to showcase your work. And now we can talk about what that post looks like. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the next thing is what we call the copy or the writing. What are you going to say? More importantly, what's the story? If your story is a video of this chick's hair changing, and then your story is Jennifer came to see me and I have openings in my chair now. I can do this for you. That's not tracking well on Facebook, because you got to remember the market of Facebook. These guys are on this app not to be sold to. If I wanted a person like that to advertise to me, I would have gone to Google. I would have looked where I could see your professional ad. I don't want to see that in Facebook. In Facebook, I want to see that my buddy Becky, the hairstylist, is crushing it. And look how gorgeous that chick is. So tell me something real. Tell me Jennifer came in, mom of 3, and she has an important gala this Saturday night. And she was super bold and decided to change her hair color to red. She was super nervous about the hair color change. And I think it came out gorgeous. You're going to look incredible at your gala, Jennifer. Everybody, isn't she stunning? Stop there. Now let's talk about what we did. Let's talk about everything I just said. Number one, I made it about the person. The human element is what's important in Facebook. Number two, I, for a brief moment, turned this woman into a model.
Right.
What's the only natural response that's coming in that Facebook? Jennifer, you look great, or Becky, you did a great job. Jennifer would have gone to your salon, gotten her hair done, then gone home and hoped her husband noticed. Right. Maybe he didn't. No, how crushing is that? She's not coming back to you, Becky, if you can't make her husband notice her hair.
Right. So that is half the problems of the redos we get, is because nobody at home noticed. Not because there was something wrong with the hair. Nobody noticed at home.
That's a good point.
But you put it on Facebook with what's changed, what's different, where the decision came from, how she's supposed to be empowered, and what are the comments now? The comments are all of Becky's friend going, you nailed it with the red. Red was the right choice. Hashtag say yes to the hairstyle, whatever y'all say. right. And people are going to get excited. Her little world of her buddies are going, even if inside they're thinking, that's hideous. Right. Red was the wrong choice.
Right.
They may, her friends may be haters. We don't know. Sorry,
Right.
Jennifer, fake
But
Jennifer. I just made all your friends
thing.
hate you. But they're going to say on Facebook that it's gorgeous, right? And here's the power there. The power is if nobody comments, then all you do is document someone's hair, and Jennifer doesn't feel exposed. She feels like, yeah, of course, she had to do that. But if a few people comment, Jennifer feels the love.
Rock star.
Now we're going to talk. So that's the dirt of the context, like how you wrap the video in context. Now I'm going to talk. I'm going to give you guys a chance to ask a question or two before I transition. The next subject matter is how to do the tagging and do all the stuff so that people see it. But that's just the creation side and the why. Did I miss anything on the why? Did I miss anything on the content? Do you have a question?
I do want to add. I'm glad you were going to pause there for a minute, because the real powerful, meaty part of that's all great. I mean, it's even reminding me because I think that's what helped me in the beginning with Facebook, and this next topic is going to be the mind blowing thing I just did this week, and it's really great, and I'll tell you why it was so mind blowing for me. But even going back a little bit, I think what you did for me to help me out so much on Facebook was gave me this big picture philosophy. And I tried to, the funny thing is you taught it to me after I started getting it down. I started teaching it to Eddie here. He's like, oh God, I don't really want to share my personal life with people out there. I said, yeah, you actually do. You don't think you do, but then you do it. And then his old friends are telling him how they miss him and he's feeling good about himself. And he's actually kind of looking like he enjoys it on there. Although he still says he hates it. It's hard to tell. So, but it's actually working. It is today's word of mouth. Word of mouth still there. It's just right here instead of face to face. This way we don't get COVID. Ha ha ha. So so stupid, I know. Anyway, did we lose Eddie? We lost visual of Eddie. So the part that was powerful to me was the philosophy behind what to talk about. So we got the profile, we got the page again. And the philosophy was like you said, you did it before and after, but it's business. So you post it to the page. But the things that are okay to do on the profile are brag about your job, love the clients, love what you do, but not every single post. So profile is like love my family, love my church, love my life, love catching fish, love my son. Oh, I also love my job every once in a while. Just don't bombard work on the side that's supposed to be friends and family. And for a workaholic, it was hard because all I wanted to do was tell people about the job. Right. Sure, I loved all those other things and did them. I just didn't talk about it. And you know what? When I talk about my wife and my kid more, my wife and my kid like me more. So it was even better balance for my personal life. And so then on the work side, I can post work, and sometimes about the family. So getting that balance correct helped me out when you gave me a philosophy behind it.
Yeah, and just to further that point, last night I watched the movie Hook.
Yeah.
And it was my daughter's first time.
Social media.
So I posted a picture of Hook on Facebook, and it got, I don't know, 50 comments or something of people saying their favorite quotes from the movie. Here's the deal, though. That's not fake. I had a great moment with my kids. I love the movie, and I'm a huge movie buff. And in the comments, all my people who know me are like, oh, did you know Glenn Close makes a cameo? I'm like, yes. And then here was one I didn't know. They said, did you know that on the airplane, the pilot is actually Captain Hook? That's Dustin Hoffman's voice. I was like, no. So it's extremely enthusiastic for me, but it's because my personal life dovetails with my work life. And Facebook really helps not only contribute to the balance of that, like you said, it gives the people in your life that aren't monetarily involved credit in a way where your kid loves getting that post, your family loves getting those posts and getting talked about, but it shows you holistically in a way where nothing else does. Isn't that what LinkedIn and websites were trying to do?
Right, that's what I'm trying to do.
Anybody who walks into my taekwondo school knows probably from Facebook, because they're friend of a friend, somebody I went to high school with or whatever. They're like, oh, you like movies. Don't you draw? Didn't I hear that you draw?
Right. You're real. You're a real human.
I'm a human. I'm a person.
So this
really matters.
Yeah. And so to this next point, I don't think you knew this. And this is why this next thing blew me away. I realized that when I made a post, or I was telling one of my stylists, I'll just use Vivian, for example. I said, Vivian, you do amazing hair. But when you take a picture and you post it, we can either post it to our business place and our page, and that same 500, 600, 800 people see it over and over again, or some of them. When you post it to your personal profile or your business page, the same people see it over and over. You know who you're not tapping into is your customer. Get her to do a little selfie. So this is what I was trying to do, and you fixed my problem, and you don't even realize it. So I said, Vivian, this is what you need to do. I was going the long way around, the really hard way. I was saying, beg, ask your client, take her phone, put it in front of her, take a selfie of you doing foils or whatever, smiling, and say something like, I love my hairdresser, and then post it to her Facebook right then and there, because you need her 300 or 400 friends to see you, because they've never done it before, and she's not going to do it because she feels like she's bragging. She needs you to ask her to do it. So when you showed me how to get it on their wall and their friends to see it without begging them to do it, that's how that's the narrative.
That's the next thing I'm going to talk about. But just on that narrative subject, you had said you wanted the client to go, I love my hairdresser. I'm sorry, I just got to post this out there. Hairdressers think they want the client to say, I love my hairdresser, because they think that if the client says, if the client Jennifer posts on her wall, I love my hairdresser, that all her friends are going to comment and go, who's your hairdresser? No, they're not.
Right.
The difference is if you go on Jennifer's wall, if you, Becky, go on Jennifer's wall and you go, I love my client, you look gorgeous, Jennifer's friends will comment on that. It was backwards anyway. Okay. The hair salon's got to love the client. Who cares if the client can love the hairstylist, but if it's Jennifer's wall, that should be filled up with the hair salon loves Jennifer, and then people underneath go, we love you too, Jennifer. Your hair does look gorgeous, Jennifer. We love you, Jennifer. That's what Jennifer's wall should be. That's Jennifer's wall. And then Jennifer posts, I love my family. She doesn't owe you anything. You can't ask your clients to love your company more than you do.
Good point. Good point.
So now let's talk about how to get it on her wall, what the power is of that, and what are the systems. So number one, if you're the salon owner and you have the ability to post this stuff on your page, this is good content for your salon page. If you are Becky the hairstylist and you want a Becky the hairstylist page, you can post this on your page. Oh, hold up 1 second,
Y'all froze
guys.
to me.
What happened?
It looked like Bernard froze.
Oh no, Bernard has an iPhone, so he constantly freezes all the time. Did you just
Oh
ignore?
no, we're getting to the
just
good
ignore
stuff,
him. You're
and
fine.
everybody's freezing up.
Okay. All right. Am I good? Is my audio
No,
good?
Jude, you're fine. Yeah. Don't worry about Bernard. Bernard is. He'll come back eventually.
Go ahead if y'all can hear. If it's
Okay.
fine, keep going. Sorry.
So if you're Becky the hairstylist and you want to have a page, you can, but it's not really that necessary. Okay. You want to post everything on the page first.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you post it on your page, whether it's Becky the hairstylist or it's the salon page, at the bottom of that post, there's a share button. You can click the share button, copy the URL, copy the link, and now you can paste that link wherever you want to show it. So now you just got to think, what lake do you want to fish in? Do you want to fish if I'm Becky the hairstylist, do I want to fish in my personal lake? I may post this on my Becky the hairstylist page, or my salon may have posted on their page. I'm going to go click the share link from there. I'm going to share it on my personal wall. If I want my friends to see it, because maybe I've got clients who have been there for a while, there's a lot of good reasons. Maybe I haven't talked about my work in a while, and this is fulfilling me this morning, and I really crushed this chick's hair, and I get a chance to kind of showcase my skill. The video just worked. Maybe you want to do that. Those are good ways to do it, but now let's go super, super deep. What you want to do is when you're making the post, when you're typing the post, our client Jennifer, her hair is gorgeous. She went red with her hair, and what a bold decision. Love it. You crushed it, girl. When you type Jennifer, there's a chance, depending on her privacy settings, that it will tag her, which is great. If she's allowing tags and she's liked your page and stuff, That's awesome. Let's get that tag in there. If not, no big deal. Because when you, as a human being, on your profile, you as a human being go to share that link, you can click copy. You can share that link, copy the link. You can go to Jennifer's wall, her Facebook wall, look Jennifer up, and paste the link there. And then just talk to Jennifer and her friends for a second and say, Jennifer, I get goosebumps every time I see this video. Oh my God, girl, you nailed it. Tag me in the picture of you in your dress.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Care. Just care for a second. She gave you dollars. You can no longer just care about that. I mean, you can just care about the hair, but the price point for caring about someone's hair is much lower than the price point of caring about a person. It's more to care about, and it's a deeper connection. Therefore, it is worth more money. So if you don't care, go ahead.
No, yeah, that's awesome, because one of the things we always talk about is we ourselves as the hairdresser, like when we were talking about building up a business, you start becoming a mini celebrity in your local area. You just become a named stylist. That was the whole thing back in the day, was to become a named stylist. Well, now with the advent of social media, now with technology and all these kind of things, you know, that's one of the things that when you was coaching Bernard starts coaching me on this stuff. I resisted I've been so outspoken against social media forever, right? But it's because I didn't want the attention. I didn't think I was a peacock. Well, I am, though, because in my local area, everybody knows me. I'm the hairdresser. So I am a peacock. I am popular in my area. You know, I can't go somewhere without somebody knowing or noticing who I am or asking, I look familiar. So in social media aspect, it's really the same thing, except it's even more important, because now you're really being able to connect with the clients who love you the most, the clients who like you, who don't get to see you as often, and the clients who could become a client, but they're just on the fence. They just don't know yet that they can become a client. So being able to interact with your own clients when you finish your own work, the whole purpose of what we're doing is we want our clients to feel special. We want them to be mini celebrities in their little circle. You know, so what you're saying is awesome.
Well, and
so when you do, let me get the real nuts and bolts just for a second, because I did this recently. We skipped one little step because it comes so natural to you. You hit the share button, and more options comes up at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's okay. You click more options, then you click copy, and you've got that whole post. Then you got to go back to your personal profile by hitting the little house in the bottom left. Then you go to the top right corner and hit the magnifying glass and search. Yep. And you search for wherever you want to put it. Like you said, for me, I search for the hairdresser's name and I search for the client's name, because I put it on both. I thank the hairdresser for doing a great job. I thank the client for being such a great client, model, whatever.
Pause right there. When you just said what you just said, can you dive into that? Because that's important. Why do you change the narrative that goes with the link on the hairstylist versus the client? What do you put different, and why?
So for me, and I'm sure you'll correct it, but I welcome it. But for me, I just went through, as a business owner, I just went through my page on Sage Hair Studios Salon, and I looked at the last post. And you know what I did there is I saw these beautiful products sitting on a white stump we have in our reception area. My salon coordinator did that. So, you know, the first thing that came to mind is what I did, actual gratefulness. I was like, God, she is so good at this. I would never think to promote our products like this. So I copied that, and then I went and searched for Melissa's personal profile, and I pasted the link to her personal profile, and I said, our salon coordinator. And then I put her name, Melissa, and it populated. So I tagged her, and I'm on her wall, so all her friends and family see it. And I said, our salon coordinator is amazing. She's so creative. I would never even think to put products in this arrangement. She does a great job for our salon. And then that was it. I posted it. So it went on her wall. So all her friends and family were like, that's so nice that your boss appreciates you. What a great job.
There you go.
To that point, you know, we always talk about, as bosses, criticize privately and celebrate publicly. But what if there were a way to celebrate your employee when we use that expression, shout it from the rooftops? Like Instagram's not the rooftop. Right. Facebook's the rooftop because that's the one her mom sees.
Yes.
That's the one her sister sees.
Right.
You get to really brag about your staff members in a public setting that is real and contextual and matters to them very deeply on a personal level that was never available before. And is it good for business? Yes, but not because it's a dirty way. It's good for business because it exposes how you really feel and what you're really proud of. And due to the visual nature of Facebook, you can show Melissa's arrangement and go, look at what this was. Right, we're not bragging for nothing. Like, look at the same thing with the hair.
And then when it came to the hairdresser, I was like, oh wow, there's even more people to thank here. I use that same pasted, copied post of the before and after, or just the platinum blonde hair, beautiful color hair. We don't even see a face, which I'd like to see more faces in our model shoots, but it's just this, you know. And so I thought it is a beautiful color. I don't even know who that girl is, but let me do this. I go to Vivian's wall and I say, Vivian, I see that Melissa said something nice, great work. Our amazing stylist Vivian did this. So I go to Vivian's wall with this copied, and I paste it on her wall, and I say Vivian, and it populates. So I use that, and a little trick when you type her name in, it'll say Vivian, whatever, all the names that she has on Facebook. Then you can hit the backspace. I learned that from you also. And now it just says Vivian. So it looks more intimate, personal, without looking like I clicked a link that says Vivian, blah, 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 her whole name. Because some people have 4 or 5 names. So now it still tags her. So people who are interested in Vivian's life are following Vivian. We'll see it. And then I said, who is this amazing client hair that you did? Please tag her and keep up the great work in our salon, kind of thing. So I appreciated a newer stylist in the salon, and then I got her to tag the client. If I knew the client's name, I would then go to the client's wall and paste that same thing and say, we love your hair. Thank you so much for coming to us. Or some better copy that I just learned today in this video when I watch it again later. But basically appreciating the hairdresser and the client.
Question to add to what you just said. The question is, when you're tagging somebody, do you also hashtag what you're trying to trend with? Because that's something I learned recently, now that I'm getting deeper diving into this, all this stuff myself. When you hashtag on Facebook, it's different than when you hashtag on Instagram, and it's different than when you hashtag on Twitter. They don't all translate or cross over to each other the right way.
Right. I would say, I mean, if y'all could answer that quickly, that'd be better, because I think that's a whole nother subject or video to dive into.
It's a lot more to dive into. I'll tell you this. Hashtagging's good. It can link you to the subject matter. However, again, in Facebook, you want to look organic. You want to look authentic. So hashtagging is cool. And it does all the things that, you know, again, we could do another episode basically just on hashtagging, and it's Instagram versus TikTok versus Facebook. But if you're going to hashtag, throw a lame hashtag in there that like makes it personal, like hashtag she made the right decision going red, girl, you look gorgeous. Like, don't just make it hashtag hair, hashtag red, hashtag. While yes, you want those things to happen, they remove some of the authenticity. And remember, you're trying in this platform to just be Becky talking to Jennifer and saying, Jennifer, you look great, and I hope your friends see this. Hashtag boss babe, hashtag well, let's talk a little bit. Jaw is going to be on the floor. Like, don't just make it boss babe. Also make it I remember you. So real quick, coming back out, I hope now you can see, like, there's so much documenting that's got to be done. And we've built this fake person with fake hair, with Jennifer, with red hair that doesn't exist. But now you guys, after watching this, all feel like you know Jennifer.
Right.
Because I took you into the room with me, and I told you how she didn't know if she wanted to go red, and she's got a gala.
Right.
And I told you all these things that I made up. But now you're part of her story, and you're all here with the popcorn going, what did her husband think? What's the gala for? What's happening? And that, I mean, you know, that you have to bring. So in a lot of ways, Facebook is a window into the chair of your salon. and you guys all have the freaking curtains closed all the time. And it's like, I'm sorry, if my business looks closed, it is closed.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Okay. Did you have something else? Because I have some more details of where I want them to go with those
let's
next,
keep it going.
We're at
wait, real quick.
Yep.
So I learned this like 3 or 4 days ago, and I thought, let me just give it a try. Let me see what happened with the business. I explained what I did with the salon coordinator. Then one of the hairdressers, I did it with a different hairdresser and a different hairdresser, and one of them twice. And then I would say about 20 minutes later, and my office manager for where we sell extensions, she posted a picture of her with extensions. So I said how great she looked, and then grabbed an old post of where she had shorter hair and said, you really love that green wall in our salon. I love the difference that you're doing. And then within 20 or 30 minutes, Master Jude Grayson here is texting me, you are all over my Facebook. So it just shows the power of the algorithm. He's like, dude, I'm seeing you all over my Facebook, and this looks good on you. Because it was all sincere compliments. So I called my wife and I said, hey, I just talked to Jude, and he said, I'm all over his Facebook. She goes, yeah, mine too.
Right. But that's the power. That's the power of diving into a localized network, is you can overwhelm them with authenticity. And now, again, I'm going to give a few more details, but if I were to back out real quick, there's this interesting moment where we go, now, how many times a day is this being done in your salon? Yeah. You got 6 chairs. They've all got not enough. They've got 3 or 4 clients apiece. That's 20 posts a day, plus tagging, plus that could, and that's all very real. But now you can truly overwhelm a city to where it's impossible. So now let's go again a little deeper, a little more context. So you've shared it on her Facebook profiles wall, right? And you've shared that. Now what else can you do? Well, there's a couple small super niche moments that you may not be totally aware of or use often in Facebook or not even know that you use. I am a member of 300 Facebook groups or something, and I don't see half of them ever unless it's 3 a.m. At 3 a.m., it's nothing but Disney World groups that I'm in. It is just all of them all the time, right? So if you are Becky the hairstylist, it may seem contrived or it may seem inauthentic to create a Facebook group, but it's how you use it. If the group that you make is, these are my clients who love me, and then you make a group, what goes in that group? Well, people first, and then from inside that group, every time you post, everybody's directly going to see it. They don't have to scroll through their news feed. They're going to see that post.
A whole other video on just groups.
Yeah, we could, because there's educational groups that I use and monetize, and I don't have time. But but just real quick with the group, when you are Becky the hairstylist, what goes in that group? What goes in that group is that this Friday is going to be Mimosa Friday. You guys wanted to tell everybody you've got openings in your chair. You don't do it to the mass public. You do it in the group, and you don't say you have an open chair. You talk about what's going on at the salon to remind them there's an open chair. Again, Mimosa Friday, or come get your hair right for 4th of July. Or I just saw this on Instagram. Looks like red is going to be the color for this fall for your hair. How, and then how much farther can you go? Well, let's take that platinum blonde post Bernard was just talking about. I would take that platinum blonde post while I still have the URL copied. I'd go up into my search bar, find my group, and I'd post the link there and go, girls, this is your sign to finally go blonde like you've been wanting to all summer. And this is just a group of 50 chicks who've all spent money with you. And then you're going to get one girl in there who's like, girl, went blonde once, never doing it again. But you've got a discussion.
Right. I like the discussion. So let me go back just a tiny bit for some people that might have got lost and confused with the group compared to. So we talked about a profile, a page, and now a group. It was the third thing that I thought was too much to cover on one video. But the group to me, and you can decide your own parameters of a group, but a group to me is the clients that pay you. So that's who I would invite to my group. So I would have this group of people, of just the people who actually paid me for service, and give them a little extra attention. Because on the page, you're going to continue to grow your business through the friends of friends of friends liking all the other people that liked the hair you do. They want to kind of like voyeurism. They want to gawk and kind of watch you from afar, but they may never come pay money to see you. And that's okay. Just know that that group is going to grow bigger than you actually service. And so that's your marketing page. Your profile is your friends and family platform. And then the group is who you. And so listen, when you start these things, there's privacy settings. And in my personal opinion, on the page, you should have it open to the public if you're doing one right now. And then in the group, I say make it private. Now, you can make a group secret also, but private secret's good enough. I say private, so not just anybody can join your group. You have to let them in. You have to personally invite them. And so that makes it just a little more special to be in that group.
Agreed. Very qualified. Nope, 100% agreed. All right, there's one small little final thought here, and then I want to
wrap
everything.
Wrap it up, yeah.
And that is stories. Stories are a very niche group that a lot of people don't use. So what you put in your story, so again, we've got this video of this girl. There's two ways to do it. You can post the link that we keep talking about. You can post that link in your story, or you could take the actual video itself and post it as a story. I recommend just take the video itself, make it a story, that it looks natural in the story platform, not like it's guiding you anywhere, and people will watch it and then take the same text that you made on the wall, right? The same text, girl, you look great, blah, blah, blah. Just write that right there on the video. Why would you do this? Because the stories are designed where once you start looking at them, you're stuck in them.
Right.
People don't dabble back and forth. When you start clicking through stories, and if you don't know what stories is, it's right at the top, and it's just it's a visual version of a newsfeed. It is the images are the main subject matter as opposed to the text. So you want to look native in that platform too, so they can see you there. Again, there's no reason to sit your boat in that particular set of water and not at least throw a line out. You're already on Facebook. You've already got the video and the link and everything there. Go ahead and use the story too. Now, can it get deeper than this? Sure. You can have it auto post and link with your Insta. Don't overcomplicate that. Let's go one more time from the girl who's in your chair all the way to the conversations you're going to end up having on Facebook. Are you ready? Number one, you want to document something. Number two, when you document, before and after pictures are really good. Videos are the best. And it could be a girl doing a hair flip of her new hair. It could be a girl doing a twirl. It could just be a girl laughing. She could be doing a TikTok. Doesn't matter. Don't overthink it. Okay? Whatever. Once you have the video, now we've got to put it places. Remember, we're trying to open the curtains. We're trying to have a clear window into that chair. It can't just be, look at the hair I did. It's got to be about the person. What did y'all talk about for 45 minutes?
Right.
So
we can't say all of that.
Don't spill the dirt, okay? Don't spill the tea. So
The tea.
Where do you post first? If there's a business page, you start at the business page. If not, you start at your personal profile. But we're going to start at the business page because it's the extra step you may or may not have. You post it on the salon's page. Here's a video. Becky did Jennifer's hair. She crushed it with Jennifer's hair. That's not enough.
Right.
Why did she crush it? Jennifer asked us to go short, and Becky nailed it. Short is the new whatever. You can tell that I'm not experienced with hair lingo. I'm sorry. Okay? So whatever, but it's got to be human. It's got to be about, so ask yourself this question after you write the topic. Would Jennifer's mom say anything? If you wrote it and you kept it about Becky, and so for instance, if I wrote, just did Jennifer's hair, 2 chairs are open, would Jennifer's mom comment on that?
Probably not, maybe not.
If I'm Becky and I say, Jennifer, you made the right decision going short. You look amazing, girl. Would Jennifer's mom post on that?
Then she's gonna
Jennifer's mom
even use her nickname. Yeah, baby, you look so good.
Right.
Yeah,
that's my baby.
That's my baby.
Gets her looks like a model. Right. So that's the post on your page. Now go to the bottom of that post. Once it's posted, click the share button, and you want to share it on as many walls as it's relevant to. So if it's relevant to my wall, because I haven't posted about business in a while, and I'm really proud of this work, I think it's a good showcasing of something special I did, then I'm going to post it on my wall. If I've posted about work 3 times today, don't.
Right.
That's what stories are for. You spam your stories. You don't spam your wall. Right. So then I share that link on Jennifer's wall, and I go, Jen, the short hair game, crushing the short hair game. But again, you're talking to Jen's people now. It's about Jen's sister telling Jen how great she looks. Jen, yep. And then if you can ask for follow-up, that's even better. Let me know how, again, the best analogy I could go is don't forget to tag me in the picture with your dress. You know why? Jen's been waiting to humble brag on her dress and her hair. She doesn't want to look selfish. She wants everybody to say how gorgeous she is.
You gave her the open invite to brag,
So so Jennifer's gonna go, hey, my hair looks great with my dress. Becky, I know you asked to see the finished product. Humble brag. Right? And then
humble brag.
And then you're getting tagged again about your services. And that, by the way, was the one you wanted the client to do in the first place anyway. So now you're on her wall. Maybe, again, like Bernard had mentioned, you copy and paste it on another client's wall or another employee's wall that was somehow involved in the process. That's fine, too. As many walls as it's relevant to. And then you take it from there. If there's something that's unique that can go in the group, like, for instance, if it's just a normal, you took a one guard and you did my hair, like, probably not a lot of context to go in your group about, unless you go in the group and you go, girls, get your husbands in here. I do this too. Like, hey, they're already, right? That's a narrative that makes sense in a group of people who are already spending money with you. Okay?
Hey, I'm putting it on the wall of the new hairdresser that just handed the stylist a brush.
Yes. Right. Absolutely.
One more wall.
Thank you, Melissa, for keeping us booked solid.
Right.
Thank you to my landlord for keeping. No, I'm just kidding. But as many walls as you can, right?
For fixing the leaky roof, right? Yeah.
And then finally, just take that video, throw it up in your story. Your story is the place where every client you did that day, you can have your before and after videos just spammed in there because it looks like you're proud of your work. As long as you're not talking about, do you want people to come spend money with you? Yes. Save that for professional avenues. This is a personal avenue. Are you also proud of your work? Yes. And further question, once that hair is done, how did you get to show it to anybody? Like, don't you love what you do? Don't you want somebody else other than the client to see it? Don't you want your cousin to know how good you are? Don't you want your mom to comment?
And for those of y'all,
Jennifer's mom for a second, let's have your mom tell you made the right decision not going to college and going to hair school, baby. So proud of you.
Right.
Like, how about
mom
Becky's mom getting
in 10 years? Right. I mean, you got that to happen. Oh my God, you are like their savior. But I want to just throw out there real quick because some people might be wondering why you're saying spamming when in most social media. My wife's opinion is like, don't do it too much. You're going to wear people out. And I think the part that wears people out is the words, a lot of words and pictures in some categories. But the stories in Facebook, it's mostly pictures. And so you can put, and it disappears in 24 hours. So that's why. That's why Jude is saying spam your stories because it's up for a short time and people are just like boom, 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 looking through those pictures, stop it on the ones they like, and it's gone tomorrow. So it's almost like you can't do too much.
So if I can finish with one final note on all this, look, that is killer.
You're going to finish?
Yeah, I know. That's killer execution. Don't forget to be human. If you are going to post on your profile about your work, it has to be a well-balanced window into your whole life as a person because you're inviting people to care about you as a person. If all you look like you care about is work, then your friends and your localized network are not going to engage. You have to also equally expose, do you like movies? Then talk about that. Do you like art? Talk about that. Like, you as a well-rounded human.
Honeybees.
Has honeybees. If you're not talking about that stuff on there and being a human, they're not going to interact forever.
That's good stuff.
So then
wrap it up,
start
Eddie.
off with a white wall if you have to. Dress it up later. Start off with your phone if you have to. Get a camera later. Start off with whatever freebie software apps come pre-installed on your phone or on your computer, tablet, whatever. Just start doing. Your first couple of points are not going to work. They're not going to be perfect. Who cares? Do it.
Right.
You gotta do it. You gotta fail
now
to get good. It's the only way to get good.
And go look at Onstage Hair Studios Facebook. Do you want to? He's doing it in front of you.
There you
just
go.
Yeah,
look.
there's a live example right there. All right.
Comment, like.
There was a lot of questions. Thank you, everybody, for your questions. Bernard
Wrap it
his
up,
freaking
Eddie.
coffee.
Buy me a coffee.
Buy him the coffee, right? So, thank you all for your comments and your questions. I know there was a couple of requests to go deeper dive into other topics within this topic. And yeah, we could break that up and bring, if Jude, you're willing to, we'd love to have you back again too, to go into over more stuff. And then hit us up from there. We'll go from there, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll catch you all next time.
All right.
Thank you.